Good afternoon, Storm fans. We are live here at Dickmann Field in Hünstetten, Germany for the start of our 2026 DBL season. You may have just seen, you're seeing it now on the screen. We had our first pitch thrown out by our own Chris Higgins, and we'll be calling out the starting lineup for the Bonn Capitals and Hünstetten Storm. Hünstetten hosting Bonn today in a Saturday-Sunday split city series. Starting lineup for the Bonn Capitals. Leading off number 30, Eric Bendrick. He'll be playing shortstop. He'll be followed by number 6, Maurice Bendren in left field. Number 29, McCoy Pierce at third base. Batting in the cleanup spot, number 55, Simon Baumer at first base. He'll be followed by number 37, Denny Langhurst in center field. Number 8, Daniel Sanchez at second base. Followed by number 15, Daniel Lamb Hunt is their designated hitter. The starting catcher for the Bonn Capitals this afternoon will be number 56, Eric Kunze. And batting ninth is the right fielder, number 33, Josef Rosenthal. Starting pitcher for this afternoon is the 2025 DBL Nord MVP, Marcus Solbach, number 25. Starting lineup for the Hünstetten Storm for this afternoon. Leading off will be number 2, Jake McKenzie. He'll be playing center field. Followed by number 18, Tobias Glimmerud, batting. He's our first baseman. Batting third, number 8, Augustine Tizada, our shortstop. Batting cleanup, number 7, and playing third base, Zach Johnson. Batting fifth will be number 22, our own Douglas Yoakum, who is our catcher this afternoon. He'll be followed by number 17, Vester Baco, who is playing left field. Bascio, sorry. Starting at second base this afternoon will be Daniel Martin. Daniel Martin's number 36. Right field, number 26, Oliver Yoakum. And our designated hitter for this afternoon is our own Phil Meyer, number 31. Starting pitcher this afternoon will be number 12, Sebastian Morales. It is a beautiful day for a home opener. This is perfect baseball weather. We do have a strong wind blowing from home to left. We'll see if that has any effect on the game this afternoon. As of now, we have beautiful blue skies. So if you're not here and you're in the area, please come out to Hünstetten. If you're unable to, I'm glad you're tuning in live on YouTube. If you could, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe for Storm TV. That would do us well. So as the opening ceremonies continue, I'll let you watch, and I'll be back with you shortly. So a bit of a new lineup this year for Storm 2026, starting with the skipper on down, Bill Dickmann stepping in as the manager this season. He also says, "Hi, Mom." Miss Dickmann is watching back in the U.S. He'll be followed by the bench coach and first base coach, Bruce Carson. Now we have the sounds of the German and American national anthems. My apologies. Misspoke when I said the American national anthem. Bit of an old habit since watched many games on MLB TV. So as both teams return to their respective dugouts, home plate umpires or the umpiring crew are meeting at home plate, as well as the managers for Bonn and Storm, waiting on Mr. Dickman to do the official exchange of lineups. As we are waiting, and as I was saying earlier, it's a bit of a new look this year for us here in Hünstetten. We do have some returning faces, some faces that we haven't seen in a season or two, but we also have quite a few new players, and it's always good to have new blood on an organization, brings in a fresh perspective as the coaching staff are shaking hands and exchanging lineup cards. As we're getting close to game time here, we do have a few new faces also on the Bonn Capitals roster, most notably for those of you who are fans of the Storm. You might see a face or might hear me call out a name that is familiar to it. Noah Lawrence, who is a longtime Storm member, is now playing on the Bonn Capitals. So umpires are going over the rules, ground rules for here at Dickman Field, named after our own Bill Dickman, who is stepping in as manager this season. As I said, his bench coach and first base coach is Bruce Carson. Bruce was here a long time ago. He's one of the original coaches here for the Storm organization back when it was just a baseball club, not even professional. And there are men here men here in Hünstetten that Bruce was their first baseball coach. They learned baseball from him. We're glad Bruce is back with us. As Hünstetten now is taking their positions, umpires are having their final discussion. I'll go around the field calling out positions. Behind home plate, as always, is our own number 22, Douglas Joachim. New look at first base as we have our Swedish import, Toby Glimmerud, will be playing first base for us. He was with the Stockholm Monarchs until recently, so we welcome him. At second base is returning Daniel Martins. Glad to have him back. He spent the past season, the 2025 season, at community college in Arizona, and now he's back with us. At shortstop is Agustin Tizara from Cordoba, Argentina. Glad to have him with us. Our third baseman this afternoon, another new player for us, but not for the Bundesliga, is right-hander Zach Johnson, originally from Cranbrook, British Columbia. He does have lots of experience in the Bundesliga, most recently with Mainz, Mannheim, and Berlin. Going around for the outfield from left to right. Starting left fielder this afternoon is a new face for us, but not for the Bundesliga, is Vester Basho. He has experience with Doran and Dortmund. Center field, Jake McKenzie, another new player originally from Wallingford, Connecticut. Right field is Oliver Yoakum, and our starting pitcher is Sebastian Morales. First in the box, right-hander Eric Brennick. And Sebastian's first pitch, taken low for ball one. Right-handed shortstop takes a look at strike one as it crosses the top of the zone. 1-1 count to start the 2026 season for Sebastian Morales. Young right-hander has come set. Here's the pitch. Inside, brushed him back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind looks like it's shifting a bit towards left center. The 2 balls, 1 strike pitch fouled out of play. It's now 2-2. Looking down in the Capitals bullpen, I can see the starting pitcher, Solbach, warming up. As I said earlier, Solbach was the 2025 DBL Nord MVP. Morales is 2-2. Inside, full count. Somehow that curveball didn't hit Brennick. Thankfully, it didn't hit him. Chopped down the third base line. On deck is Maurice Bendren, the right-handed left fielder for the Capitals. As I said, it is an absolute beautiful day for baseball here in our area. And I'm so happy that the season has started. I know many baseball fans are. Ball is chopped, bobbled by Zach Johnson, throws over, and Bennett just legs out the infield single. So that does bring up the left fielder, Maurice Bendren. And doing a little gardening, it looks like, in the right-handed batter's box. Now he's stepping in there. As Sebastian Morales looks over, checking Brink. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Check swing, foul, and out of play. Out into what will become a wheat field. For those of you who are not familiar with us here at Dickman Field, we are in the farmland in Hünstetten. So we do have a beautiful area around us. Throw over brings Brink back to first base. Brink is taking a 1.5 step lead off of first. Morales' pitch does not catch zone. It's 1-1. That pitch is not in there. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. Another throw over, but Brennick is back safe. Ball 3. Morales' pitch doesn't catch the bottom of the zone. So 3-1 count now on the left fielder, Bendring. On deck is the third baseman, McCoy Pierce. The 3-1 pitch does catch zone. Full count now. A look over at first base. Runners going. Ball is outside for ball 4. So we have 2 on, no out for Capitals. Brings up McCoy Pierce, a new addition to the Capitals roster. So Morales looks back at runner at second. And the first pitch to Pierce in there for strike 1. Not easy to say, pitch to Pierce. Morales looking long, has his sign. Quick check back at second base. Ball is low. 1-1 count now. As I hear the wind is picking up. It's now blowing more towards foul territory than it is out towards left center. Brink is dancing at second. Pitch is low, ball 2. Morales' pitch outside, ball 3. I'll take this time to welcome those of you who are tuning in over in the U.S. or outside the U.S. Wherever you're tuning in, welcome. I know it is a bit early for some of you in the U.S., but over here it's afternoon. 3-1 outside. So that walk brings up number 55, Simon Bauer. Bauer is the first baseman, the left-handed first baseman for the Capitals. Team made it every base and no outs. Morales has his sign, has the pitch that he wants. In there, called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch gets away from Yoakum, and Bennett comes in from third on the pass ball. Or wild pitch, rather, sorry. Runners advance 1 base. Actually surprised it didn't hit the batter. It looked like it was close to hitting his knee. So the 1-1 pitch from Morales. Swung on and hit. Underhand tossed, get the out at first base. Another run comes across. It was a sacrifice RBI. Brings up number 37, Danny Langhurst, the center fielder. Capitals have a 2-run lead at the moment, but the first out has been recorded. So it's 1 out, runner at third. Langhurst is up to bat. Morales' pitch is foul tip. No. Swung on and missed, the umpire finally calls. But runner did not advance as he didn't see where the ball was. That was a bit of luck on our side as the runner didn't see where the ball was to run home, as he might have been able to make it. Yoakum is setting up outside. The 0-1 pitch on its way. Doesn't catch zone. 1-1's the count. High, ball 2. Daniel Sanchez, the second baseman, is on deck. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 count now on Danny Langhurst. Morales has come set. 3-1 pitch, way outside, low, ball 4. That brings up the second baseman, Daniel Sanchez. Runners at the corners with 1 out for Sanchez. On deck is the designated hitter, number 15, Daniel Lamhunt. First pitch, Sanchez swung on and missed, but Langhurst is able to steal second. Thought for sure the home plate umpire was going to rule that as a foul tip, as it looked like the ball was foul tip, but end result is a steal on swing and a miss. Next pitch is low and outside, ball 1. One is skied high, center field. Playable for Zach Johnson, who makes the catch, throws a third, run comes in from third, keeps Langhurst at second base. So it's an RBI flyout, makes it 3 runs scored this inning. With 2 outs, Daniel Lamhunt, the designated hitter, now up for the Capitals. Morales' pitch. Doesn't catch the top of the zone. Ball 1. Wind might be a little bit of a factor on the movement of the ball. It looks good, and then it kind of moves right towards the end. Inside, ball 2. As many of you can see, we have a flag indicating the wind here by the press box, and it keeps picking up. 2-0 pitch, low and outside, ball 3. On deck is the catcher, Eric Kunze, number 56. Morales is 3-0. Taken low for ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk. Putting Lamhunt at first. Runner at second and first. Brings up the designated hitter, Eric Kunze. The catcher, Eric Kunze. Timeout taken. We have a meeting at the mound. Calm Morales down a little bit. Take this opportunity to welcome those of you who are tuning in to our game. If you would like, we do have chat open. If you want to tell us where you're from, where you are viewing us, that would be great. I do like to give shout outs to those who say hi. We have a nice crowd here for a home opener, I will say that much, as the meeting is over at the mound. So, umpire calls play. And the first pitch to Kunze. Thinking just a bit high and outside for ball 1. This is Sebastian Morales' first opening day start. He was with the team last year. Next pitch catches the bottom of the zone, strike 1. It's a 1-1 count. Sebastian Morales is one of our young players we have on our Storm roster. The 1-1. Swung on. Foul tipped to the backstop, so it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. So welcome to alles hier für die 2026 Saison. Ein Ball, 2 strike. Oh, bit of a pickoff move. Ball was not thrown, but it did get the runner at second back. Time called by the batter. On deck is the right fielder, Josef Rosenthal. Morales with a look back at second. And he gets the called strike 3 to end the inning. Bonn's able to put up a crooked number. Going into the bottom of the first, Bonn 3, Hünstetten nothing. We'll come back with you here shortly. As we go into the bottom of the first, Marcus Solbach is having his warm-up pitches. As I said, Marcus Solbach was the DBL Nord MVP for last season. Since his catcher was at bat, sorry, I couldn't get the words out. Took a little time for him to actually get his gear back on. Leading off for Storm, it'll be Jake McKenzie, followed by Tobias Glimmerud and Augustin Tessada. Jake McKenzie, our center fielder. Jake McKenzie says, "Hi, Grandma McKenzie. I hope you're watching." Jake McKenzie was an undrafted signee of the Boston Red Sox. He also was in the Colorado Rockies organization. First pitch in there for a strike. Jake taking first pitch. Next pitch is outside, ball 1. 1-1 count now for Jake. Jake McKenzie, a product of Wallingford, Connecticut. Swings, next pitch, fouls it into the sprouting wheat field that's behind us. I do see some kids running out after the foul ball. Great to see that. Kids love going after the foul balls. 1-2. Swung on and hit. And falls for a base hit. Jake McKenzie with his first hit as a member of Storm. Great to see that. That'll bring up to bat our newest member, Tobias Glimmerud. Toby just joined us recently. He was with the Stockholm Monarchs. He is originally from Stockholm, Sweden. Left-hander. He bats left, throws right. And he's batting now with a teammate on first base. First pitch. Catches that outside corner for strike one. On deck is our starting shortstop, Augustine Tesada. Swung on and missed. It's quickly 0-2 for Glimmerud. He fouls the next pitch into the little field that we have beside our professional field. Still an 0-2 count on Glimmerud. Swing and a foul tip for a strikeout. Route number one. Brings up to bat our starting shortstop, Augustine Tesada from Cordoba, Argentina. On deck is our third baseman, Zach Johnson. McKenzie taking a couple of step lead off of first. Pitch is right down the middle for a called strike one. Tesada getting his signs from skipper Bill Dickman at third base. Next pitch, catches the upper inside part of the zone. It's now 0-2 on Tesada. McKenzie not taking much of a lead off of first. Dancing now. Draws the attention of Solbach. Doing it again. 0-2 swung. Foul tip caught for strikeout number 2. So with 2 outs, runner at first, comes up Zach Johnson, our starting third baseman today, product of Cranbrook, British Columbia. Quick look over McKenzie at first, who's not dancing at the moment. First pitch is Johnson. In there, called strike one. Minor correction, Johnson's number 9 today. I don't know why I said number 7. The ball right at the hands and able to get thrown out at first on the play. Third baseman was able to field that cleanly. So it's not a 1-2-3. We actually did have a base runner, but unfortunately, no runs come across. Going into the top of the second inning, Capitals 3, Hünstetten nothing. Sebastian Morales back on the bump, getting his warm-up tosses here to start the top of the second inning. Home plate umpire just told him he gets 2 more tosses. Capitals be sending up to the starting off right fielder Josef Rosenthal. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Eric Bennett and Maurice Bendrin. I think the wind has subsided a little bit. You can see the flag is still moving, but it's not as straight as it was. It's thankfully the wind is dying down. So here we are in the top of the second inning, and Rosenthal is in the batter's box ready to receive the first pitch of the second inning. Inside, ball 1. Ball just missed the uniform, but next pitch is a little too far inside for a hit batsman. That's getting on base the painful way, but thankfully it wasn't a fastball. Looks like a curve that just didn't curve. Brings up the shortstop, number 30, Eric Bennett. Morales' first pitch in there for a strike, and a runner is safe. Stolen base for Rosenthal. He was running on the pitch. Got in there just before the throw from Yoakum. But ball was called a strike. It is an 0-1 count now on Bennett. Rosenthal dancing at second. Pitch doesn't catch zone. 1-1 count. Benjamin on deck for the Capitals. Next pitch doesn't catch zone. Just looks like it's just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. The 2-1 pitch fouled to the backstop. 2-2 is the count as Maurice Bendrin runs over to collect the ball, tossing it back to the home plate umpire. Two pitch is a curveball that stays inside. Thankfully, it doesn't hit Bennett. Ball is swung on and hit. Left center. Throw goes a second, but runner from second is able to score as he took off on the hit. Bendrick at first base now as he brings in Rosenthal, stealing the base on the beginning of the at-bat, actually paid off with a run. And hitting a ball into a gap, is able to bring that runner home. Now up to bat, number 6, Maurice Bendrin. Swinging at the first pitch. Out of play, just behind the visitors' dugout here at Dickman Field. As Kid went out and grabbed that ball as quick as she could. Runner going. Throw was just a bit towards first base side of second, but the base runner was underneath the tag. Still no outs here in the top of the second inning. Runner at second. Maurice Bendrin is now looking at a 1-1 count. Swung on, chopped. Third base, throw over for out number 1. Runner does not advance on the throw. Brings up to bat number 29, McCoy Pierce. McCoy Pierce batting with a teammate at second and 1 out here in the top of the second. Runner going. No throw to third. Ball 1. When you have a right-handed batter, it's a bit harder to throw down the third base because the batter doesn't have to leave the box. 2 balls, no strike as the pitch was in the dirt. On deck is number 55, Simon Bauer for the Capitals. 2-0 pitch is swung on straight to the third baseman, Zach Johnson, who throws over for out number 2. 2 outs, runner at third, brings up number 55, the first baseman for the Capitals, Simon Bauer. Two nice plays at third for our new third baseman, Zach Johnson. Left-handed first baseman now in the box. Swings at first pitch, goes out of play into the little field. And I do see some little ones that are already out there playing around, and looks like they're fighting for who gets the ball. Wind is picking up now. Morales' 0-1 pitch. Swung on, skied high. Zach McKenzie shades his eyes, makes the catch in center field for out number 3. Capitals bring home another run. That's now makes it a 4-0 Capitals lead as we go into the bottom of the second. Due up in the bottom of the second will be Douglas Jochum, followed by Vester Basio and Daniel Martins, as the Capitals are now taking the field. There was some action in the Storm bullpen. We'll see if there's any action that's or any changes that'll be made. But as of now, going into the bottom of the second inning, wind is picking up. Marcus Solbach back on the bump for the Capitals here in the bottom of the second inning, getting his warm-up tosses. As I said, it'll be Douglas Jochum, followed by Vester Basio and Daniel Martins, the 1, 2, 3 for this bottom of the second inning. First pitch of Jochum, taken for a ball. Jochum swings, flicks his bat out, but it's a foul ball down the right field line. 1-1 count now. Ball has been retrieved and thrown back in. Solbach is now looking for the sign as Jochum's ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on, missed. Strike 2. Douglas Yoakum, one of our farm-raised players here for Storm. Swung on, tapper. Solbach tries to make the play, but doesn't. Douglas Yoakum with an infield single. Call that a swinging bunt if you want to. Swung on, hit it right into dead man's territory here between the mound, third base, and home plate. So Douglas Yoakum on brings up our new left fielder, Vesterbacio. Left-hander is ready, waiting for Solbach's pitch. And here's the first pitch he sees as a member of Storm. Low and inside in the dirt, ball 1. Unfortunately, Yoakum couldn't see that the ball was basically hidden by the catcher, as the catcher couldn't find it. Swung on and missed. Big swing by the left fielder. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Basio. Basio has been around the Bundesliga quite a number of seasons. Takes strike number 2. 1-2 count now. We're welcome to have the veteran experience that he brings. One-two pitch swung on and missed. That's a strikeout for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. That brings up our starting second baseman, number 36, Daniel Martins. We welcome Daniel back. First pitch he sees, he takes for strike 1. Danny spent the 2025 season in the U.S. He was playing baseball at college in Arizona. We're glad to have him back. Swung on, drops a single. Throw was almost in time to get Yoakum at second. So, runner at first and second with only 1 out for Oliver Yoakum. Oliver Yoakum batting with his brother at second base. Solbach now pitch out of the stretch. First pitch to Yoakum is low and inside, but catches the zone for strike 1. Solbach comes set. The 0-1 to Yoakum. Swung on and fouled into the growing wheat field. Strike 2. On deck is our designated hitter, Phil Meyer, along with both Douglas and Oliver Yoakum. Meyer is our farm raised. We've been blessed to have these guys on the team for quite a while. The 0-2 pitch to Oliver Yoakum. Swung on and missed for out number 2. Brings up Phil Meyer. Phil Meyer, our Swiss Army knife of a player, can play pretty much any position. Today he's DHing. Solbach is set. First pitch to Meyer. Swung on, and it is going to be down. 1 run is in. Phil Meyer with a 2 RBI double Phil Meyer, like I said, he can practically do it all. Dropped a beautiful, beautiful hit right down the right field line. Right fielder misplayed the ball, which led to the runner that was at first being waved around. Phil did lose his headgear rounding around the bases, but thankfully he didn't slip. That brings up Jake McKenzie. Once again, he says, "Hi, Grandma McKenzie. I do hope you're watching, Miss McKenzie." Jake batting with a runner at second. Solbach's pitch doesn't catch zone. Ball one. Wind is picking up now, blowing out towards left. It's running is from home to the left foul pole, basically. Solbach's next pitch, high, almost hits McKenzie. That's ball two. On deck is Toby Gilmerud. Solbach's pitch, his 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Low and outside. 2-1 count now to our starting center fielder. Solbach's pitch swung on and driven to deep center, but caught by Eric Kunze for out number 3. A very long out number 3. But going into the top of the third inning, Hünstetten has brought 2 across the plate. Going into the top of the third, Bonn 4, Hünstetten 2. So as we go here into the top of the third inning, Sebastian Morales is still on the bump, taking his warm-up tosses. I would like to take this time to welcome those of you who have joined us since the last time I welcomed the viewers. It is great to have everyone tuning in. It's a beautiful yet windy afternoon here in Hünstetten. But we do have a very nice crowd for Dickman Field. So if you are still in the area and would like to come out, please join us. We have some of the best burgers in a DBL, in my opinion. I know it's a bit biased, but still, Storm Burgers can't be beat. Morales is done with his warm-up tosses. Up to bat will be Danny Lankhurst. So it'll be Danny Lankhurst, Daniel Sanchez, and Daniel Lamhunt. So the 3 Dannys here in the top of the third inning. Lankhurst swings and misses at the first pitch he sees, strike 1. Doesn't swing at the next pitch. It's now a 1-1 count. Morales is 1-1, swung on and missed for a swinging strike 2. Morales is looking in, shakes off one sign. Had his next one, ball's high and inside. Ball 2. Sun is coming out from behind the clouds. What few clouds we do have today. Oh, doesn't catch the top of the zone. That was a beautiful curveball, but just did not catch the zone. And pitch is high. Ball 4. Lankhurst walks to lead off the third inning. Daniel Sanchez, the second baseman, now coming up to bat. Now, Danny Sanchez is in the batter's box waiting for the pitch from Morales. Swings and lofts it over the head of the third baseman into left field for a single. That brings up number 15, Daniel Lamhunt, the designated hitter. Lamhunt batting with no outs, runners at second and first. Kunze, the catcher, is on deck. Morales' pitch in the dirt gets away from Yoakum. Both runners advance. Not exactly what they were wanting to do. Morales' pitch in the dirt and just got underneath the glove of Yoakum. Both runners advance. Next pitch doesn't catch zone, ball 3. The next pitch does catch the top of the zone. Excuse me, it's not 3-1, it is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lamhunt. Oh, infield umpire doesn't say that Lamhunt went around on that pitch, so now it is 3 balls, 1 strike. Morales had his long look in, has the pitch that he wants. And the 3-1 swung on and chopped foul right at the bat boy of the Hünstetten Storm. Made a decent play on that. Lamhunt with a full count. Watches that ball not catch the bottom of the zone for ball 4. Bases loaded. Bases loaded now brings up the catcher, Eric Kunze. And that's an RBI the hard way. Nowhere to put him. And Kunze takes that ball into his left shoulder for an RBI hit by pitch. Brings up the right fielder, Josef Rosenthal. Pitching coach, Giancarlo Rizzo, comes out to... Gianfranco Rizzo. I cannot speak now. He's come out to talk to his young pitcher, calm him down. We do have action in the Storm bullpen. Phil Meyer is warming up. With bases loaded and no outs, it will be Josef Rosenthal, the right fielder for the Capitals. Mound meeting has been broken up. Rizzo is taking, I wouldn't say a slow walk back to the dugout, but he's taking his walk back. Umpire has called play. Here's the pitch. Catches the inside for strike one. Morales' 0-1 pitch on its way. Swung on and hit. Shallow right field. Caught by the second baseman. Daniel Martins throws behind. Almost gets the runner at second. Oh, just missed getting a very nice double play. Daniel Martins with an over-the-shoulder catch in shallow right field. Throws back to the shortstop, Augustine Teixeira, who I guess his foot just wasn't on the bag. Not sure. Anyway, out recorded. Brings up the bat. Top of the lineup for the Capitals, Eric Brennick. The shortstop takes the first pitch for strike one. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball one. That one, I really wonder if the wind is affecting the pitches because that really fluttered. Had nice rotation on it, though. Morales' 1-1 pitch to Brennick. Swung on and chopped past the third baseman into left field. 1 run's in. 2 runs in. So it is a 2 RBI single for Brink. Brings up the bat number 6, left fielder Maurice Bendren. Bendren batting now with 1 out, bases, runners at the corners for Bendren. Pitch to Bendren. Tapper. Gapper. And went right through as Daniel Martins was shaded towards second base. The old adage for baseball, hit it where they ain't. And that's exactly what he did. The runner from third comes across. It's now 8-2 Capitals. Runners now at first and second for number 29, McCoy Pierce. The pitch to Pierce. Low and outside. Runners advance on the throw. Wind is picking up here. The 1-0 pitch. And the wind did push that ball. I'm hoping you're able to see that. The wind actually pushed that ball, and Pierce hit in the back. That was a strange thing, but the ball does funny things when in the air and the wind starts blowing pretty hard. That will do it for Sebastian Morales as skipper Bill Dickman comes out the mound, takes the ball, and the call to the bullpen's been made. Phil Meyer is jogging in from our bullpen. Phil Meyer had DH duties. Now he's got the
bullpen duties as he's coming in to relieve his teammate. Phil Meyer taking the ball. 1 out, bases loaded. And it will be to Simon Bauer pitching. Number 55, Simon Bauer, is the next Capital in the inning. There seems to be some action also in the Capitals bullpen. Not sure exactly who is throwing yet. As Phil Meyer is taking his warm-up tosses, I will welcome everyone again to our live stream of this afternoon's ball game. First ball game of the 2026 DBL season for Storm and the Bonn Capitals. It's also game 1 of a 2-day, 2-city This is game 1 of a 2-game opening season series between the Storm and the Capitals. Game 1 is here in Hünstetten. Game 2 will be in Bonn tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. So those of you who can make it, we'd like to see some Storm fans in Bonn. Phil Meyer's warm-up tosses are done. Brings up to bat Simon Bauer, the left-handed first baseman for Capitals. Bauer batting with 1 out, bases loaded. First pitch he sees, swung on and slapped to right field. Chased down by Yoakum, 1 run is across. Throw is cut off, 2 runs in on an RBI single. Brings up Danny Langhurst, batting with runners on the corners and 1 out. First pitch is in there for a called strike on Langhurst. Meyer's next pitch swung on and popped high, but goes just behind the netting. It's 1-2 count. Ball landed right in front of a fan. He just stood there and watched it instead of making a play on it. The 1-2 pitch from Meyer skipped in the dirt. Ball 2. As the sun is coming out from behind the clouds. Don't think that'll have any effect on anything. The wind has more of an effect on the game than the sun does at times. Meyer's 2-2 swung on and missed. Strikeout for out number 2. Brings up Danny Sanchez, the second baseman. I want to apologize for the easy score, our score bug at the corner of our screen. There's an error with the system, not on our end. It actually looks like it's on Easy Score. That's the site we use for scoring. Meyer's pitch in there, called strike. Meyer's 0-1, swung on and slapped down the third base line. Capitals manager barely got out of the way of that ball. I'm glad he did. He's smiling as he knows that he just missed getting hit by a screaming liner. Myers comes set. His 0-2 on its way. Swung on. Again hit down the third base line. Foul and out of play. Stays alive on that foul ball. Myers 0-2. Again, foul ball down the third base line. I see some little ones running after it, but they can't get the ball as it stayed inside the fences. Still an 0-2 count. Meyer the quick look over at first. Pitch a little bit high and inside. Ball 1. Pitch is gobbled up by the shortstop. Throws over for out number 3. That's the end of the top of the third inning. Capitals able to bring in some more runs. Going into the bottom of the third inning, Capitals 10, Storm 2. We have a new pitcher for the Bonn Capitals going in the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Jakob Schoch, the right-handed pitcher, number 4, taking his warm-up pulses. Like I said, I saw action down in their bullpen, but I could never actually see a number. For Storm in this half inning, it will... Oh, my apologies. Okay, as looks like there's a conversation going on between Bill Dickman and home plate umpire. I don't think it's anything to look at. We have Tobias Glimmerud, Augustine Tessar, and Zach Johnson, our 1-2-3 here in the home half of the third inning. Sun coming out. It might affect the right fielder as he's staring directly into the sun. Hopefully he has his sunglasses. Toby Glimmerud, our left-handed first baseman, stepping into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch to him is high for ball 1. Glimmerud is quite a tall first baseman. Next pitch inside at his knees. Thankfully, it didn't hit his knees. Ball 2. On deck is Tessara. Johnson in the hole. The 2-0 pitch is chopped, fielded by the shortstop who throws over. Oh, just in time to make the out at first. Glimmerud almost legged out an infield single. Unfortunately, the ball got there before he did. That brings up our shortstop Augustine Tessara. Right-handed shortstop waiting on the pitch. Swings at the first pitch, lines it over the third baseman's head down the left field line. Misplayed by the left fielder. He's taking second on a stand-up double. As long as the scorer doesn't give an error on that fielding play, it is, for the time being, a stand-up double. With one out, runner at second, brings up our third baseman, Zach Johnson. Our catcher, Douglas Yoakum, is on deck. Bill Dickman collects the armor from Tessara, giving that to the bat boy, who scampers back to the dugout. Johnson now ready for the pitch. And the pitch from Schalk. Taken all the way for strike one. Tessara not taking much of a lead off of second base. Schalk's 0-1 pitch. Curveball does not catch the zone. It's a 1-1. One on Johnson. Check swing. Ball 2. That was just under his hands. That swing was more of a I don't want my hands hit type swing, but thankfully he didn't go all the way around. Schalk with a look back at second. It's now 3-1. Ball doesn't catch the zone. It's actually high and outside. Ball swung on and hit, skied high, playable. But over the wall, Zach Johnson with a 2-run home run. Welcome to Hünstetten, Zach Johnson. Makes it a 10-4 ball game as Zach Johnson muscled that ball over the left field fence. Just had enough with the wind pushing it to go over. Brings up the bat now. Catcher, Douglas Yoakum. Zach Johnson being congratulated by his teammates as he goes back into the dugout. Yoakum batting. No one on. Fouled at home plate. See, some little kids have collected Johnson's homer. Schalk's next pitch floated for ball 2. I could see the wind actually affected whatever he was throwing there. The 1-1 swung on and missed, strike 2. On deck is Vestra Bocho. Pitch taken for ball. It's 2-2. Bocho on deck. In the hole is Daniel Martins. Yoakum skied high but playable and caught by the left fielder. With 2 outs, brings up our left fielder, Vestra Bocho. Bocho batting with bases empty. Left-hander, bases empty, 2 outs. Daniel Martins on deck now. Takes first pitch for ball 1. Swings at the next pitch. Vacuumed up by the second baseman. Throws over just in time for out number 3. That'll do it for the bottom of the third inning, but Storm's able to get 2 runs on a nice home run by our third baseman, Zach Johnson. Going into the top of the fourth inning, Capitals 10, Storm 4. Phil Meyer back on the bump going into the top of the fourth inning for Storm. It'll be Daniel Lamb Hunt, Eric Kunze, and Josef Rosenthal for the Capitals. Once again, I welcome all of you who are tuning in live here on Storm TV, live on YouTube. I also want to welcome all of the fans in attendance here. This is a wonderful looking crowd for the home opener as Phil Meyer has thrown his last warm-up pitch. Ball was thrown down to second base, being thrown around the infield. And that will bring up number 15, the designated hitter, Daniel Lamb Hunt. Meyer looking in, has his sign. Daniel Lamb Hunt ready for the pitch. First pitch of the fourth inning, taken low for ball 1. Meyer's next pitch taken low, I guess, for ball 2. Couldn't quite see where that ball was, but doesn't catch the zone according to the home plate umpire. Zone's been pretty consistent this afternoon. Respect for that. 2-0 skied high. And that's a home run. Daniel Lamb Hunt with a home run to right center, just over the fence. Makes it an 11-4 lead, 11-4 game. Unfortunately, the wind decided not to push that ball back towards center field. Now up to bat, the catcher, number 56, Eric Kunze. Kunze batting with no outs. Meyer has his pitch. Low and outside for ball 1. Doesn't catch top of the zone, 2-0. Josef Rosenthal on deck. 2-0 swung and a miss. Makes it a 2-1 count. Ball gets away. Now it's 3 balls, 1 strike. Meyer fires in, swing and a miss, strike 2. Full count now on Eric Kunze. Swing and a miss for out number 1. That's Meyer's second strikeout of the game. Brings up to bat number 33, the right fielder, Josef Rosenthal. The right-handed right fielder in the box. First pitch he sees, swung on, driven into left field, but playable and caught. Out number 1, or out number 2 rather. Left field put out by Basio. Brings up the bat number 30, shortstop Eric Brennick. Brennick batting now with 2 outs, no one on base. Watches the first pitch go in there for a called strike 1. Brennick doesn't swing at the next pitch, doesn't catch the inside zone, so it is a 1-1 count now on the shortstop. Next pitch doesn't catch the bottom of the zone either, so now it is a 2-1 count on the Capital shortstop. Marius Bendren is on deck. A swing and a chopper to the shortstop. Fields fires for out number 3. After giving up the leadoff home run, Meyer is able to settle down, gets the next 3 outs. But it's now 11-4 Capitals going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Going into the bottom of the 4th inning, Schalk still on the mound. Once again, apologizing for the score and the score bug not updating. That is a problem with the site that DBL uses for keeping track. And so it is 11-4 as Schalk is getting his warm-up tosses. It will be Daniel Martins, Oliver Yoakum, and Phil Meyer. Now coming up to bat, our second baseman, Daniel Martins. Martins comes into the batter's box. First pitch, curveball that doesn't really curve that much. He has to duck out of the way of that one as the ball was head height for ball 1. Next pitch also doesn't catch zone. It is a 2-0 count now on our second baseman. That one does catch the zone for a called strike. 2-1 count now on Daniel Martins as the wind seems to be picking up just a bit more. Sun's behind the clouds. Ball skipped up to the catcher for ball 3. 3-1 count. And Daniel Martin's able to work a leadoff walk. And with that leadoff walk, we'll bring up the right fielder, number 26, Oliver Yoakum. Now the first pitch to Yoakum. Curveball doesn't break inside to catch the zone, so it is a ball. Martin's not taking a big lead. Next pitch high, ball 2. On deck is Phil Meyer with Jake McKenzie in the hole. Now the 2-0. Somehow catches that outside zone for a called strike 1. Two-one pitch, skied high. Long run by the center fielder and right fielder. Right fielder makes the catch on the run for out number 1. Unfortunate, the ball couldn't split the difference and land, but it is out number 1, brings up Phil Meyer. Phil swing at the first pitch, drives a single to left field. It's a 1-out single. Now we have 2 on, 1 out. Brings up Jake McKenzie. Jake McKenzie, our starting center fielder for this afternoon. He's ready and waiting for the pitch. Schulk's pitch is in there for a called strike. Oh, McKenzie hits it direct towards third baseman, who tries to make a tag play at third. Daniel Martin's able to get around. It is an infield single. That'll bring up Tobias Glimmerud. Glimmerud now batting with bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Takes first pitch high for ball 1. Daniel Martin's able to get around the tag that was attempted by the third baseman from the Capitals. The 1-0 pitch to Glimmerud spiked in the dirt, but smothered by the catcher for ball 2. There's now some action in the Capitals bullpen, it looks like. The 2-0 pitch, Glimmerud fouled directly back to the screen for strike 1. On deck is Augustine Tesaro. It's now 3-1. Toby able to not swing at a pitch that was just out of the zone. That one's fouled back. Makes it a full count. Several young people are running after that ball. Now a 3-2 to Glimmerud. In the dirt. That's an RBI walk for Tobias. Yeah, yes, this is Jakob Schalk pitching, and looks like there's a meeting at the mound. All the infield's coming over as the pitching coach for the Capitals is going to talk to his pitcher as he has walked in a run. Bases are still loaded with one out. It will be Zach Johnson coming up to plate. If Johnson's able to get on, it will be Douglas Yoakum. Apologies. It's Augustine Teixeira up to bat, and Zach Johnson is on deck. Maybe I saw the future. That'd be nice. So our shortstop is in the box and waiting. Teammate at every base. First pitch he sees. It's a check swing, but it's foul. Does not stay. It was a check swing, foul ball. Did not stay inside the foul lines. Everyone has to go back. So Teixeira is waiting. Next pitch doesn't catch top of the zone. It's 1-1 count on our shortstop. It's 11-5 now for the Capitals as the next pitch is swung on and hit into the wheat field. 1-2 is the count now on Teixeira. Next pitch doesn't catch the zone. It's now 2-2. Sharks come set. It's now a full count on the Storm shortstop. Still action. Time. Well, plate umpire doesn't see it. Ball has gotten out of the Capitals bullpen, and that is an RBI walk. Makes it makes the score 11-6, and that'll bring out the Capital manager, and that'll be it for Jakob Schalk. No, we don't know why Solbach was taken out so early. That's not something that we were made aware of. The new pitcher for the Capitals, I'll get the name for you when I have it. Marcus Solbach was taken out with a large lead. They brought in Jakob Solbach. It is Consta Corica, number 47, for the Capitals. Kurika is a Finnish import for the Capitals. He's going to have his warm-up tosses. It will be bases loaded for Zach Johnson once play resumes. Kurika has his warm-up tosses. That brings up the bat with bases loaded and 1 out. Zach Johnson. His last at bat, Zach Johnson launched a ball over the left field fence. Johnson's waiting on his first pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Good pitch to swing at, but the ball broke and didn't go across the plate. Johnson's ready and waiting. Swings at the next ball, who was in the dirt. 0-2 quickly. On deck is Douglas Yoakum. Vesta Bascio is in the hole. Let's see if Johnson takes next pitch or if he's going to go after the offering. Just got a piece of that ball. Stays alive on the foul tip. Kuka has his pitch. And the 0-2. Foul tipped, same place, exact same place, same pitch, same swing, same result. Foul tip, stays alive, 0-2. Pitcher's set. 0-2 on its way. Oh, and Johnson gets rung up on an inside pitch that somehow caught the zone. Could actually hear it up here. The fans here in attendance were not happy with that call, but can't argue it. Brings up the bat Douglas Yoakum. Yoakum batting with 2 outs, bases loaded. Takes first pitch low, ball 1. Yoakum gets on base. It will be Vester Bascio. It's now 2-0 on our catcher. Kurika with a long look in. Finally has come set. 2-0 pitch. Okay. Caught the bottom of the zone even though didn't get caught by the catcher. 2-1 count. Two one on its way, swing and a miss. Now it's quickly 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for number 22, Douglas Yoakum, with 2 outs, but bases loaded. And a swing and a miss, and that'll do it for the inning. But Hünstetten was able to get a runner across going into the top of the 5th inning. It's 11-5. Going into the top of the 5th inning, Phil Myers still on the mound for Storm as Storm is taking their positions. Since Douglas Jochum was the final out of the bottom of the 4th, taking a little bit of time to get his gear on as he's now about to get out on the plate. Jochum's now there for Myers to take his warm-up tosses. Capitals with a 6-run lead going into the top of the 5th inning. Storm was making some noise, but some unfortunate called strike 3s and the swinging 3rd strike ended the inning with bases loaded. Warm-up tosses are over. That'll bring up the bat the left fielder, number 6, Maurice Bendren. Swings and misses at a beautiful pitch by Phil Meyer to start the top of the 5th inning. Bendren steps well out of the batter's circle to adjust his gloves on that swing and a miss. Swing and a miss from the next pitch. 2 great pitches from Phil Meyer. No surprise Bendren swinging at those. Those were good pitches to swing at, too. Doesn't catch the zone on the outside. It's now a 1-ball, 2-strike count now on the left fielder from the Capitals. Meyer set. The 1-2 driven up the middle for a leadoff single. Bendren with a little bat flip on that single. Not sure why he decided to flip on that. Brings up the bat, number 29, McCoy Pierce. 3rd baseman batting with a runner on first, no outs, here in the top of the 5th inning. Goes after the first pitch, and that is screamed over the head of the 3rd baseman all the way down the 3rd base line. It is a stand-up double for the Capitals' 3rd baseman, McCoy Pierce. That brings up the first baseman, Simon Baumer. Baumer batting with no outs, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Big left-handed first baseman is now stepping into the box. On deck is Danny Langhurst. Pitcher Meyer catches the outside corner for strike one. Ball is hit and over the head of our center fielder. Runner from third walks home. And runner that was on second also crosses the plate. It is a 2 RBI stand-up double for Balmer. Brings up the bat number 37, the center fielder, Danny Langhurst. That was a long fly ball that just hung up in the air a little too long. Maybe the wind had something to do with that, just over the head of Jake McKenzie. He was at least able to track it down and keep Balmer from running all the way to third. First pitch Langhurst sees is a called ball. It's now 13-5 Capitals. Ball gets away from Yoakum. Balmer's able to scamper over to third. Ball just skipped right in front of the plate, off of Yoakum's protective gear, and moves the runner over. Ball two. Looks like the sun is coming out from behind the clouds again. Shadows are getting a little bit longer. Danny Sanchez is on deck. Langhurst swing and a miss. Strike one. There was some action in the Capitals bullpen, but whoever was up is sat back down. Myers 2-1. Fouled back to the screen. Strike two. No action in the Storm bullpen. Meyer has a sign. His 2-2. Outside, ball three. Swing and a miss brings the first out of the inning. And it brings up to bat number 8, Danny Sanchez. Danny Sanchez batting with a teammate at third and one out. On deck is Daniel Lamb Hunt. First pitch to the second baseman is fouled back to the screen for strike one. Oh, 1 catches the zone for a called strike two. Sanchez thought about swinging at the pitch, but couldn't pull the trigger. But the ball actually went and caught the zone. The 0-2. Chopper. Myers fields it himself, throws it home, tags out the runner for out number 2. Great play by the pitcher-catcher there. Runner from third was running all the way on the pitch. Now with 2 outs, runner at first, brings up the bat, Lamb Hunt, the designated hitter. First pitch of Lamb Hunt in there for called strike. Meyer checks the runner at first. Oh, doesn't get the call. It's now 1-1 on Lamb Hunt. Foul tip to the plate, strike 2. Sanchez isn't running. Taking a not that long of a lead off of first. 2 or 3 steps as it is. On deck is Kunze. Ooh, Myers doesn't get the call. It's now 2-2. Phil checks the runner at first. Ball is smoked right down the third base line. Sanchez, stop sign put up. He stays there at third. It is a 2-out double for Lamb Hunt. Brings up the back Eric Kunze. Kunze batting now with 2 outs and teammates in scoring position. That ball was only fair by a few centimeters, but it was still fair. Thankfully, the runner didn't make it in. 2 outs, 2 on. A chopper to third. Bouncer just gets in there. Just gets in there to get out number 3. Not the best of throws, but the runner wasn't running as hard, I guess. I don't know. End result, out number 3. Ends the top of the 5th inning. Going into the bottom of the 5th inning, Capitals 13, Hünstetten 6. As we're going into the bottom of the 5th inning, Kirka is still on the mound. Whatever action was in the Capitals bullpen has stopped for now. It will be Boscio, Martins, and Yoakum, Oliver Yoakum. That'll be the 1-2-3 for this half inning for Storm. Kirka still getting his warm-up tosses as the sun really has come out from behind the clouds. The shadows are quite long now. That'll be the last warm-up toss as our left-handed left fielder, Vester Boscio, is coming up to the plate to lead off the home half of the 5th inning. Boscio now ready. First pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. Again, apologies for our score bug not working. There's apparently that was called a strike. Okay. 1-1 count now on Bossio. As I was saying, the score bug that we use, the website that's connected to it is down apparently. Swing and a miss makes it a 1-2 count. Hopefully this gets corrected. There's nothing we can do on our end. I'll just update our score when we need it. And that is a swing and a miss. Oh, foul tip. Home plate umpire is ruling that is a foul tip. Not caught by the catcher, so stays alive. It's a 1-2 count. Oh, pitch comes inside. Did not hit him. Somehow did not hit him. Bossio looked like he was expecting to get nailed in the shoulder, but somehow completely missed him as the first baseman for Capitals needs a new glove. Balma, I guess, didn't have the right glove. Not sure what happened there. The 2-2 pitch. Slapped in for a single right between first and second baseman. That is a leadoff single here in the home half, the fifth inning. Brings up our second baseman, number 99, Daniel Martins. Daniel Martins waiting for the first pitch with teammate at first, no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Ball outside, ball one. Looks down at his skipper at third base looking for signs. Bossio takes a couple step lead off first. Ball does catch the zone that time. It's a 1-1 count on our second baseman. Actually have more people coming in now here to Dickman Field. Watch the game. Throw behind the batter. Ooh. Looks like it slipped out of the fingers of Kurika. Ball two. You'd say that pitch was just a bit high and outside. And that ball was just a bit high and outside. I guess I'm seeing the future here. Pitch before was high and inside. Ball's got some funny movement coming out of the hand of Kurika. Not sure if it's just his grip. That one caught the zone. Okay. So it's 2-2. Tapper over the pitcher. Oh, he is called out at first. First base coach Bruce Carson not happy with that call. If we actually had the same replay that they have in MLB, maybe he'd be ruled safe. Call would be overturned, but moves run over to second for the first out of the inning. Coming up to bat now is our catcher, number 22. Our right fielder, number 26, Oliver Yoakum. Whenever I get the Yoakum boys confused, they don't let me hear the end of it. Pitch caught the zone for a high corner call, for a called strike one. On deck is Phil Meyer. Kurika takes his time, looking in for the sign. Swing and a miss. It's quickly 0-2. Check back the Baccio at second. He's dancing off. The 0-2 swing and a miss, and it is a swinging strikeout for out number 2. That brings up the bat, number 31, Phil Meyer. Baccio dancing off a second. Phil Meyer swings. Oh, ball is caught for out number 3 on a leaping catch by the first baseman for out number 3. Unfortunate. And that's how the 5th inning goes for the Storm. No runs scored going into the top of the 6th inning. Capitals 13, Storm 6. As we go into the top of the 6th inning, Storm down 7. It might sound bad, but it doesn't feel like it. This Storm team is fighting, and that 7-run lead is not actually something that is a guaranteed win. Phil Meyer is still on the bump. He'll be facing Rosenthal, Brennick, and Bendren. Unfortunately, the first pitch is a single. He was able to beat out the ball. I'm still thinking that Daniel Martins was safe in the previous half inning, but that's neither here nor there. So it's a leadoff single to start the top half of the 6th inning. Brings up the bat, the shortstop, Eric Brennick. First pitch that he sees is taken for ball 1. The throw over. Rosenthal was leaning a bit. Phil Meyer saw that. And they got him that time. Great pickoff move by Phil Meyer. Rosenthal head went towards second base as soon as Phil Meyer threw the ball. He was fooled. So that leadoff single is erased with a pickoff for out number 1. Next pitch is skied but out of play for strike one. That foul ball goes into an area where several kids are playing. Fortunately, it landed between them and no one actually was injured on that foul ball. It's a 1-1 count on Eric Brink. Swung on and just past the shortstop into left field. He's thinking two because it got past the left fielder who misplayed the ball. It is a double for now unless the official scorer rules it a single and an error. Puts a runner at second with one out for the left fielder, Maurice Bendren. Wind is picking up again here. This area of Germany, our little corner of heaven, beautiful views, but when the wind's blowing, it can be quite crazy. Meyer's pitch is low and outside for ball one on Bendren. Capitals with a 7-run lead here in the top of the sixth inning. Myers takes a look back at second. Catches zone for a called strike one. Meyer comes set. Kicks, fires, but it's in the dirt, a little too low. Ball two. Ball is skied high, playable, and caught for out number two by our first baseman, Glimmerud. I think the wind actually helped. He had to adjust his path as the ball did move a little bit more towards the line, but he was able to actually make the catch for out number two. That brings up the bat McCoy Pierce, the third baseman for the Capitals. 2 outs, runner at second. Pitcher Meyer skipped in the dirt. Yoakum thought about throwing down the second, but the second baseman, Daniel Martins, was not near the bag. He's playing closer to first base at the time. Now he's staying close to the bag just in case. No swing, but it is a called strike one. Oh, Phil Myers looking to try to catch that inside corner, does not get the call. Count is 2-1. Pierce able to get on base. Balmer is on deck. Doesn't get the call on that pitch either. Guess it was too low in the zone for his called ball three. Meyer with a couple look backs at second. Steps off as the runner was dancing a little bit too far off base. Second baseman Daniel Martins starts shading, but doesn't matter. The ball is hit, splits right and center, and bounces over for a ground rule double. That scores the runner from second, makes it a 14-6 game. Brings up the bat now number 55, Simon Balmer. That ball was smoked out to right center and just bounced from the warning track and out of play. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Left-handed first baseman now ready. Takes the first pitch for called strike 1. Meyer, long look in, getting his sign. Checks back the runner at second. Swung on and hit deep down the third base line, but out of play. Actually bounced into the Storm bullpen. Counts 1-1 on the tall left-handed first baseman from the Bonn Capitals. Meyer double checking the runner at second. 1-1. Swung on and hit. Playable for left field. Baccio makes the catch for out number 3. That's the end of the 6th inning, though another runner has come across. Going into the bottom of the 6th inning, Capitals 14, Storm 6. As we're going into the home half of the 6th inning, Storm down 14-6. It might be an 8-run deficit, but that's not an end-all here today. The Storm players have been playing as if the score is still 1-1. There is no give up, and I'm really liking that from our 2026 Storm team. As Kurika's warm-ups are over, that brings up the top of our order. It will be Jake McKenzie, Tobias Glimmerud, and Augustine Tessara, the 1-2-3 in the home half of the 6th inning. The Fordham University graduate up to bat now. First pitch he sees, swing and a miss for strike 1. Good pitch to swing at as the sun has come out from behind the clouds once again. Wind is also picking up a bit. Swung on, misses for strike 2. Kurika has this pitch, the 0-2. Whoa, caught the outside for a called strike 3. Brings up the bat our left-hitting first baseman, number 18, Toby Glimmerud. Our tall left-handed first baseman now up to bat. First pitch he sees, skipped up in there for ball 1. On deck is Augustine Tassara. Pitch is inside. He has to jump out of the way. Limerud does to avoid getting hit. Ball 2. Tassara on deck. Zach Johnson is in the hole. The 1-1 hit, booted by the third baseman on the scoop attempt. Limerud is on. Let's see if it's ruled a infield single or if it's going to be on by an error. Brings up the bat, number 8, our shortstop, Augustine Tassara. It was a 1-out hit. I believe they're ruling that as a hit. In the first pitch to Tassara of 6th inning. Swung on and just over the first baseman's head, just fair. Limerud is running around 2/3, getting the stop sign from Bill Dickman. It is a 1-out single, moves the runner from first to third, puts 2 on with 1 out for our third baseman, Zach Johnson. Action in the Capitals bullpen now. Zach Johnson batting 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Already has 1 home run on the day. Waiting on the pitch from Kurica. Slaps the ball just foul down the first base line and out of play. Just a bit late on that swing. Straighten that ball out just a bit more, and that could be 2 runs. Chopper to third, played cleanly by the third baseman. Throw over for a double play to end the inning. Unfortunate, that's how it ends, but going into the top of the 7th, still Capitals 4, Storm 6. As we go into the top of the 7th inning, Phil Meyer still on the mound for Storm. Bonn Capitals leading 14-6. As I said, there is action in the Capitals bullpen. Can't tell who that is. It looks like 10 on the back of the uniform, but I can't really tell. Regardless, it's the top of the 7th inning, and Phil Meyer is getting his warm-up tosses in. It will be Danny Lankhurst, Danny Sanchez, and Daniel Lamb Hunt in this half inning. As the soothing sounds of Beach Boys being played over the loudspeaker. We're ready to go here. Danny Lankhurst is in the batter's box. Phil Meyer has his sign, and here's the pitch. Swung on, foul tip directly back to the backstop. Strike 1. Lankhurst looks at ball 1, a bit low on that pitch from Meyer. Counts 1-1. Well, the ball didn't catch the zone apparently. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. It's now 3-1. Let's see if Lankhurst has a green light to swing on the next pitch, if it's in zone. Oh, ball 4. That ball was just a bit outside. It couldn't tell if Meyer is calling for time. Looks like he has a problem with his shoot. That is what was the problem on that pitch. He had a funny delivery, and I can see why. So he is giving whatever came off his shoe to the bat boy as he goes back to the mound. That'll bring up Danny Sanchez. And on the pitch, Lankhurst takes second, takes third on the errant throw. That's unfortunate. So here in the top of the 7th inning, Capitals now have another runner in scoring position. Now with a runner in scoring position and no outs, Danny Sanchez taps a ball back to Phil Meyer, fields it himself, throws over after checking the runner at third for out number 1. Brings up number 15, Daniel Lamhunt. And the first pitch to Lamhunt, a little bit low and outside for ball 1. On ball is over the fence in left field for a 2-run home run. That hung up in the air quite a long time. I think that was finally a pitch that got helped by the wind. Stayed up there quite a long time until finally Baccio ran out of room there in left field. So that's a 2-run home run. Brings up to bat pinch hitter Lindy Simeon. First pitch to Simeon is a called ball. Simeon is pinch hitter for Eric Kunze. Not sure if this is a defensive substitution as well or just a pinch hitter. Ball low. 2 balls, no strike to the pinch hitter. Rosenthal is on deck. Ball is hit out of play. Two balls, 1 strike count now on the pinch hitter. Swung on, tapped, but foul down the third base line. Count is 2-2. Capitals with a 9-run lead, 16 to 6. as Phil Myers' pitch doesn't break on the inside. It's now a full count on the pitch hitter, Simeon. Yep, and he swung on that pitch. Tagged out by Joachim for out number 2. Brings up to bat number 33, Josef Rosenthal. First pitch, Rosenthal swung and popped out to the first baseman, Glimmerud, for out number 3. So that is the end of the 7th inning. Damage was done. Another crooked number put up. Time to stretch here in Hünstetten. Going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Capitals 16, Storm 6. Going into the bottom of the 7th, Capitals have brought in a new pitcher. It is Mateusz Scheide, number 40. He was replacing Kurika. Storm will be sending up Douglas Joachim, Vesterboschio, and Daniel Martins here in the home half of the 7th inning to face Scheide. Entschuldigung mich. Please excuse me. The left-hander deals, swung on for a leadoff base hit by Douglas Joachim. Douglas Joachim, first pitch swinging against the lefty. Split between short and third for a beautiful single that brings up to bat our left fielder, Vesterboschio. It's lefty on lefty for the first time today. Pitch is low and outside, ball 1. Catcher thought about throwing it down to first to pick Joachim off, who had took a couple steps off of first on the pitch, but couldn't get a grip on the ball. Tapper over the pitcher. Another close play at first. And another questionable call at first, as it looked like the runner had actually touched before the out call was made. But Joachim now on second. With that out at first, runners now at second. Brings up the bat number 99, our second baseman, Daniel Martins. Catcher's going out to talk to his pitcher. Not sure what the conversation is going to be about. On deck is Oliver Yoakum. Ball skips away from Capitals catcher, sends Yoakum over to third. The ball was spiked in the dirt in front of the catcher and bounced all the way to the backstop, moving the runner over, now in the scoring position with one out for Daniel Martins. See if Danny can actually put this ball in play and bring Yoakum home. Ball's in the dirt again, but does not get away from the catcher. Counts 2-0. Pitch looked low, but home plate umpire says it caught the zone, so it is 2-1 count. High for ball three. The 3-1. He did not get. Oh, that is a disgusting call. I'm sorry. I will have to say that. Home plate umpire looked at the home plate umpire, catcher, and Danny Martins all looked like, no, it wasn't a swing. And then the first base umpire said, yep, it was a swing. He went around. So it's now a full count on Danny Martin. Martins just gets a piece of that one to stay alive. Martins just gets a piece of that one to continue the at-bat. Oliver Yoakum on deck. Phil Meyer in the hole. And Danny Martins works a walk. Runners at the corners now with one out for Oliver Yoakum. Capitals catcher held the ball, waiting for the home plate umpire to actually call it a strike, but finally called it a ball. Next pitch looked exactly the same place, but that one was called a strike for strike number one. Martins takes his lead off of first. Pitch is outside, ball one. One is swung on and tapped. Shortstop Fields fires over for one. Safe at first. Finally, a proper safe call at first. Oliver brings his brother home to make it 16 to 7. It is now 16-7 as Oliver Yoakum brings his brother in from third. Now with two outs and a runner at first is our pitcher, Phil Meyer. On deck is Jake McKenzie. Phil's first pitch swinging. Unfortunately, it's a long fly foul ball. Just a bit early on that swing, but it had the distance. Let's see if he can do it again. Takes the next pitch. Nice lefty curve in there for a called strike. So it's quickly 0-2 on our pitcher, Phil Meyer. Does not swing at the next pitch. Capitals were wanting that to be called strike 3, but it is a ball. 1 ball, 2 strike. Very good eye on Phil Meyer not to swing at that pitch. But can't look at that one. Unfortunately, that is called strike 3. Dropped it right in the strike zone to end the inning. A runner comes across. It is now 16-7 going into the top of the 8th. As we go into the top of the 8th inning, Capitals lead 16-7. We have a new pitcher for Storm. Toby Glimmerud and Phil Meyer trading places. Tobias, left-handed hitter, but he's a right-handed hurler. He's getting his warm-up tosses in as Phil Meyer now is at first base. Up to bat for Capitals this inning will be Brink, Bendren, and Pierce. It doesn't look like they have any pinch hitting changes. That RBI in the bottom of the 7th for Storm was very much needed, as here in the DBL we do have a run rule. The mercy rule is in effect if after seven innings, if the home team is down by 10 runs, the game can be called. But thankfully the runner came across, and now it is 16-7. That means the game is not over yet. There's still quite a lot of game left for Storm. As Glimmerud's warm-up tosses are finished, brings up shortstop for the Capitals, Eric Brennick. Brennick is in the batter's box. First pitch he sees low and inside for ball 1. Next pitch is in there for a called strike 1. 1-1 count now on Brink. But next pitch is too low. Skips up in there for a ball number 2. It's now 3-1. The 3-1 pitch from Glimmerud is swung on and driven foul and out of play down the third base line. Apologies, I think we have a camera outage, so I'll go old school. The 3-1 pitch is chopped, fielded by the third baseman, Zach Johnson, throws over, but is unable to get the speedy Brennick, who is able to leg out the infield single. That'll bring up number 6, the left fielder for the Capitals, Maurice Bendren. Bendren batting here now with a runner at first here in the top of the 8th inning. Capitals leading by 9. On deck is McCoy Pierce. Pitch is low into the dirt. Throw back to first, but Brink is able to get back before he's tagged. Brink, runner at first, takes his lead. And Glimmerud's next pitch is a little too inside. Hits Maurice Bendren in the pocket. Hit by pitch. Now with no outs, 2 on. Brings up number 29, McCoy Pierce. Pierce batting with 2 on, no outs. On deck is Balmer, number 55. Pitch from Gilmer in there. Outside, called strike 1. Sun has gone behind the clouds. Next pitch is skipped up in there, ball 1. So what you can't see is off to the left. Next pitch outside, ball 2. Clouds are coming in from the northwest. Wind is still here, but don't know if it's a factor on the field. 3-1 now the count. I see there is some activity about to happen in the Storm bullpen. Glimmerud's pitch inside, ball 4, walk, the bases loaded. Now with the bases loaded, that brings up the first baseman, Simon Balmer. Simon Boymer, tall left-handed first baseman. Be facing our tall was first baseman until this top of the 8th inning. Boymer has the bases loaded. Teammate at every base now and no outs. First pitch outside, ball 1. On deck is Lankhurst. Boymer skies a pitch high behind second base. The center fielder is able to track it down and throw it in. No advanced runner. The runner didn't even go back and tag at third base. So that was a great catch and throw to keep the runners from advancing. First out recorded here in the top of the 8th inning. That brings up Danny Lankhurst, the center fielder. 1 out, bases loaded. Pitch is in there on the inside for called strike 1. On deck, looks like it's a pinch hitter. Will be Anthony Kilsing. Ooh, Gilmerud doesn't get the next pitch. 1-1. Oh, just over the head of a leaping second baseman. Brings in a run. So it is an RBI single. Makes it 17-7 here in the top of the 8th inning. Ball just over the head of a leaping Daniel Martins. It's unfortunate. We have a pinch hitter now. Officially pinch hitter Anthony Kilsing. Number 1. He will be pinch hitting for Danny Sanchez. Glimmerud's pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Lansing waits for the next pitch. Swung on and hit. It's playable for our left fielder. And Baccio is able to make the catch. Runner at third tags and scores on the throw back in. Makes it 18-7. Sac fly increases the run. Pinch hitter gets the job done, I guess you could say. Brings up to bat now the designated hitter, Daniel Lamb Hunt. 2 outs. 2 outs, 2 on for Lamb Hunt. First pitch swinging. Ruled a foul ball as it bounced just on the foul side of third base. Looks like the wind is trying to pick up a little bit here. Limmerud's next pitch rocketed down third base line. Foul, strike 2. Time is called as the foul ball is being retrieved. Ball has been retrieved now by the Storm bullpen. Play has resumed. Count is 0-2. Oh, doesn't get the call. Ball 1. Toby Glimmerud wanting to get out of the inning with that pitch. Just doesn't catch the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside. Ball 2. It's a good stop by Yoakum. And Glimmerud has his pitch. He's come set. Fortunately, a little too low. Full count now. High. Ball 4. Bases are loaded again for number 35. Simeon Lindy. I had the name backwards the first time around. I was calling him Lindy Simeon. One of those wonderful names that goes both ways. First pitch to Lind, as I'm being corrected. It's ball. Second pitch inside, ball 2. That next pitch does catch the bottom of the inside zone for a called strike 1. 2-1 count now on Lind. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Next pitch in there, called strike. 2-2. Pitch is a tapper to second. Martins takes it himself, taps second on the force play to end the inning. Damage is done once again as more runs come across, but game's not over yet. Going into the bottom of the 7th, Storm need to get some runners home. As we're going into the home half of the 8th inning, Storm down 17-7. They need to score here 2 runs to continue the game into the 9th inning. Tomorrow, game 2 of this weekend, 2-day, 2-city series will be in Bonn, 2 o'clock, as the 2026 DBL opening weekend continues. Now, coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning, our leadoff hitter, number 2, center fielder Jake McKenzie. I misspoke earlier. The score is 18-7 as McKenzie takes a pitch. Now 1-1 count. As I was saying, tomorrow is game 2 of this weekend series. It's in Bonn. It's now 1-2. That lefty curve is able to break across the strike zone. On deck is Tobias Glimmerud. 2-2 count now on our center fielder. Oh, gets rung up and ejected for arguing the call. I don't agree with that at all. Jake McKenzie has been ejected by the home plate umpire because of the parent discussed at the strike zone. And that is what it is. He's been ejected for arguing calls and strikes. I'm guessing that's going to be the call. Brings up to bat Tobias Glimmerud, as Bill Dickman has called time to speak to home plate umpire as to exactly why he decided to eject the player without a warning. And I would be interested to find out why there was an ejection with no warning. Now, Bill Dickman is trying to get an understanding from the home plate umpire who doesn't want to talk. So, it is what it is. Withhold any other comment until after the game. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, brings up Tobias Glimmerud. On deck is Augustin Tizara. First pitch is a called strike. The 0-1 in the dirt. Not called a strike. So it's 1-1 to Glimmerud. Ball is hit directly to third baseman for out number 2. Storm is down to their last batter. Up to bat is Augustin Teixeira. Augustin's able to get on base. It will be Zach Johnson. First pitch swinging, fouled, back to the backstop. Since there's ball went to the Capitals side of the field, no one retrieved the ball. Storm bat boy had to go get the ball. Tapper to first. First baseman takes himself, and that'll be the ball game. Unfortunate ending for the home opener. Final score is 18-7. Bonn Capitals take the first game of the season as the umpires quickly leave the field. It's unfortunate. That's how the game had to end, but that's baseball. Final here in Hünstetten, Bonn Capitals 18, Hünstetten Storm 7. So you can join us live again here on our YouTube channel, Storm TV, next weekend as we have a 2-game series here in Hünstetten against the Cologne Cardinals. 2-game series here next weekend, Saturday, Sunday. 2 o'clock start time, both games. So I hope to see you here at Dickman Field or joining us live on YouTube next weekend. Once again, final here for Game 1 of the 2026 season. Bonn Capitals 18, Storm 7. I've been your voice of the Hünstetten Storm Baseball. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.